everybody, this is Ken with Pathways Dojo's Ninjas in Nature program. Today we have a fire by friction video for you. In particular, we're going to teach you how to make your own bow drill fire kit. Making fire by friction is a lot like the self-defense arts that we teach in the dojo. It's incredibly empowering and it can save your life. It's amazing to think that you can walk out into a forest like this and be able to gather your own materials and make fire. So check out this video where we teach you how to do that. Welcome back to Ninjas in Nature. Today we're going to learn how to make a bow drill fire kit. We got Mr. Hand, my right hand man here, and he's going to show you how to make a bow drill fire kit. And this is not exactly what we're talking about. Let's take two on that. So it looks like he's got a good piece of wood here, and the way you tell if you can have a good piece of wood to make a fire is if you can do what we call the fingernail test, which just see if you can mark the piece of wood. If it's not too hard and not too soft, just right, that's what you're looking for. Next thing to do is to make what's called the fireboard. This is going to be the bottom part of your fire kit that you use to actually make the coal of the fire. So it looks like he's got a piece that is about a foot long and about as thick as his thumb. Next thing you're going to need is a spindle. So this is the part that's going to spin. You want it about the same thickness. So this is looking like a good piece of wood, and he's giving it the thumb test, or the shaka test as we call it, and it looks like he's going to cut that to length. Alright, now the next thing, he's going to sharpen one end, it looks like. Make a pointy end on one side and a rounded end on the other, but the rounded end also has a slight point, so the pointy end is going to go on the top of what we call the handhold, and then the bottom is going to go into the fireboard, that part right there. So the next thing you want to do is, looks like he's going to use his spindle to make a slight hole or divot in the fireboard. This is going to hold the spindle in place as you spin it. And oh, it looks like he's got a rock. He's going to use that to grind out the hole, it seems, a little more. That's going to hold the spindle in place. Now, looks like he's got a piece of wood. The handhold, that's the next part. So you want a piece of wood that's going to be comfortable in your hand. And he's going to cut that to length so it fits just in his hand. Looks like he's going to split it using an old knife. Don't want to use a good knife. You might damage it, but an old knife will work. Look at that. Splitting it right in half. And that's going to fit right in his hand. He's going to use the top part of the spindle, looks like this time, to grind out a divot in the handhold. He's got his rock again, also going to grind that out just to make a little hole, it looks like, to get it started. And that's going to hold the spindle in place in the handhold. Looks like he's got a rock too. If you can find a rock or a bone, you can use that as a handhold too. He's got a bow. That's a strong piece of wood with a piece of cordage that's going to be about the length of your arm. It looks like he's going to wrap that rope around the spindle. That's looking a little loose there. So he's going to tighten it. Good job. You want that rope snug around your spindle. It's still a little loose. Going to tighten it some more. You want it to just fit right in there really snug, almost pop in place. Yeah, there you go. So now he's going to put it down there. Let's take a look at that a little closer, how you get that spindle wrapped around. So it looks like one technique is to put the pointy end on the inside of the rope, and he's pulling it back on the outside, and then using the bow and the rope kind of like a fulcrum and popping it into place just like that. That's looking good and snug. So it looks like you can also wrap it on the inside. That'll work, but you're going to hit the bow, and you're not going to have as much space to bow with. Alright, so he's going to put it all together. It looks like he's got his handhold, his spindle, and he's wrapping his wrist around his shin. That's going to hold the spindle in place. That's really important. You want your spindle to stay put. He's putting it all together. He's bowing it, and check it out. Look at that. Looks like he's got smoke already. Good job, Mr. Hand. Now, I'm seeing a lot of ash that came out, which is great, but it's all around the sides of the fireboard, so that's not going to help you too much. What will help you is to carve a notch in your fireboard there. And it's looking like he's doing about 1/8 of a piece of pie. If you can imagine that center burned in hole is the piece of pie, you want about 1/8 of that cut out, and it's looking like he carved a notch that goes right to the center. Now he's ready to put it all together, it looks like. He's got his fireboard, his spindle, his handhold. He's locking his wrist around his shin, and he's ready to go. Alright, there you go. There's your fire kit. Go out and see if you can make fire now.